square. And that's my surface area. Okay. Now to find volume, I'm simply going to find the area of my base. In this case, the bases are triangles, and I'm going to multiply that by the height. So if you look here, if these are my bases, and I'm going to just color those in red. If these are my bases, then the height would be 34. So if I'm going to find the volume of this triangular prism, volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. The area of my base, and let's just put it all together. The area of my base, and I'll put it in parentheses, is base times the height divided by 2. This height is the height of my triangle times the height of my entire prism. So V is equal to, the base is 24 of my triangle, the height is 10. I'm going to divide that by 2 and then multiply that by the entire height of my prism, which is right here, by 34. So the volume is equal to, when you plug this in your calculator, you get 120 times 34. And please practice it, try it on your calculator. You get 4,080 centimeters cubed. Remember, volume is always in cubic centimeters. Right? Be sure to text me, email me if you're still confused or you want some help. Okay, next we're going to look at a rectangular prism. Here's my rectangular prism. Now the easy thing about a rectangular prism, all my sides and bases are rectangles. So, in knowing that, I'm going to find the area of my two bases. I'm going to highlight these blue. Okay, so those are my bases. So, if I'm looking for the surface area of course are all of my areas of my faces and the areas of my bases added up. So let's write it down here. So surface area area of my bases, and they're rectangles, and I see that they are 11 by 9. So the area of my bottom is a rectangle, so it's length times width. So it's 11 times 9, which gives me 99. These are in inches, so it's inches squared. Okay? I know that if my bottom is that, my top is also going to be that, which is the length times the width. So it's 11 times 9. That's what I should have used, a little dot there instead of the times there. I mean, it both means times, but we usually use that at this point. Is 99 inches squared. That's my top, and the area of my top and the bottom. Now if you notice here, I've got a side here, and I'm just going to highlight this one red. So I've got this side, and I've got a side that's identical to that one there. So I'm just going to call that my sides. So I've got that side, and I know that I've got two of the same sides. They're rectangles, so it's length times width, length times width. The length of this is 9, the width is 3. So this is a 9 by 3, which gives me 27 inches squared. My other side is identical to that, so it's 9 times 3, and it gives me 27 inches squared. Alright? I still have my front, which is right here. Okay, and I'll just kind of color it out a little bit to distinguish it. And then I have my back. Okay, so at the front, which is also a rectangle, length times width, the length is 11, the height is 3, so this is 11 by 3, which gives me 33 inches squared, and I know my back is identical to that, and that gets the width times the length, which is also 11 by 3, which gives me 33 inches squared. To find my surface area, I'm going to add them up. And so when I add them up, and you can try this on your calculator also, you're going to get 318 inches square. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit, make it a little bit wider. There we go. I think this is going to be better. So 318 inches square, and that's the surface area. Okay. Now, this question also asks for the volume of the solid, and we know that the volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. My base, in this case, I'm just going to call my base this bottom one here. For a rectangular prism, it really doesn't matter. For other prisms, it does. But anyway, my base is a rectangle, so it's length times width, the area of my base times the height of my entire prism. So volume is equal to 11 times 9, which is the area of that base, times the height, which is 3. So volume is equal to 99 times 3, which gives me 297 inches cubed. Don't forget your units. Volume is in cubic units. Right? Oops. Okay, so let's move on down a little bit more here. And here I am, I have a cylinder. I need to find the volume of the cylinder. A cylinder is very similar to a prism in that I'm going to find the area of my base. In this case, my base is a circle. And then I'm going to multiply it by the entire height of my cylinder. So as I look here, there's a circle. It gave me the diameter. Well, to find the area of a circle, I need to know the radius. So the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So I'm going to take half of 34. So the radius is equal to half of 34. So the radius is equal to 17 meters. Those are my units. Right? So to find the volume of my cylinder, and I'll just hold this up a little bit. Okay. To find the volume of my cylinder, I'm going to say the area of my base, which is a circle, so pi times radius squared, times the height, which is 27. Okay? So volume is equal to pi times 17 squared times 27. You can plug this into your calculator just like this. Right? So the volume is equal to, right now in your calculator, do pi times 17, press the square button, then times 27, and you should have gotten 24,513.85. We're going to round to the nearest hundredth. It didn't really say, but we'll round to the nearest hundredth meters cubed. This is the volume of my cylinder. Now, something we looked at, and you looked at a couple of videos on Friday, we looked at cross section. If I take the cross section, it's like I'm cutting it either vertically or horizontally or vertically. Alright? So the first question says, what 2-3 shape with a cross section of a vertical slicing? If I was to slice this vertically, that means just cut it straight from top to bottom, what shape would I expect to get when I open it up? Well, you're absolutely right. I'm going to get a rectangle. Okay? If I was to get something and slices horizontally right across the middle, or just horizontally across, when I do that and I open it up, of course I am, you're absolutely right, you're going to get a circle. Okay? Alright, so that's cross section. Alright? Alright, so let's move on. And we're going to move on and look at finding some more volume. I need to find the volume of this prism below. And I've kind of highlighted what your base is. And you see your bases, you have 2 trapezoids. Those trapezoids are not rectangles. Remember, the sides of my sides of my prisms are rectangles. So you can see there's rectangles going around this trapezoid, so that trapezoid is your base. So you have a trapezoid as a base. Okay, so my base is a trapezoid. So I need to find the area, find the volume, so I need to find the area of my trapezoid. So the area of my base, okay, and that's going to be equal to 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, now if we look here, it's showing me that from top to bottom is 3. So this is my height. This I'm going to call my base 1, and this is my base 2. And if I look at this diagram, if this and this are going to be exactly the same, so this is 5 centimeters, this is going to be 5 centimeters. So back to my formula. The base is equal to 1/2 the height, which is 3, times base 1, which we said was 2, plus base 2, which is 5. Now, order of operations says do this in parentheses first. So I have 1/2 times 3 times 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, so I'm going to multiply next. So I have 1/2 times 3 times 7 is 21. I'm going to take half or multiply by 1/2, 21, and I find out that the area of my base, and I'll call it A this time, is 10.5 centimeters square. Okay, I'm not done because I need to find the volume. So volume is equal to the area of the base times the height of the entire trapezoidal prism. And if I look over here, the height of it is 6 centimeters. So my formula says that volume is equal to the area of the base, which we found to be 10.5, times the height, which is 6. When I multiply that together, I find out that the volume of this trapezoidal prism is 63 centimeters cubed. Don't forget, volume is in cubic centimeters. Alright, moving on down, we talked about pyramids, and we haven't talked much about pyramids yet until now. The volume of a pyramid and a cone is equal to 1/3 times the area of the base times height. We talked about with a pyramid, the difference is like you kind of shave off your sides, so therefore it's not going to be as much volume as a prism. So I'm going to use that formula to find the volume of this square prism. Square pyramid. the square pyramid has a square base, and that's what you see right here. Okay, so I'm going to find the area of the base, multiply it by the height of my entire pyramid, and then then divide that by 3, or multiply it by 1/3, you want to say. So let me show you this. If you want, you can also write this formula to say volume is equal to the area of your base times your height divided by 3. That's another way that you could write it. Okay, so I'm going to say volume is equal to 1/3 times the area of my base times the height. The area of my base, it is a square, so it is a 10 by 10. So the area of my base is 100. Okay, I'm just going to put units squared. Oops, sorry, can't see, because I know it's square units, I just don't know what units those are. Right, so volume is equal to 1/3 times 100 times 12. When I put that in my calculator, I can do 1 ABC3, that's that fraction, times 100 times 12. And you're going to see that you get 400 units cubed. That is the volume of your pyramid. It's